Hey Trick, and welcome back to another update on the Red Wiggler worm bin. You know, this is what we started out with, and it's up to about here now, and I think it's about time to find out exactly what we got going on in the way of worms and how the compost is breaking down, and the castings, food, paper products, whatever we put in there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to expand, and we're going to make a longer bin. There's been some talk where people are saying they think that red wigglers like to stretch out when they're breeding instead of being in a closed environment this closed. I mean, it was good for, they've been in here for about a month and a half now. So we're going to try to expand into something like this. This is just a basic plastic tub that I bought at the dollar store. And when you're trying to cut through something like this, you want something that's going to be flexible, almost like a Tupperware thing. This was $1. I mean, so we'll give it a shot. I've done some other stuff with these. I got smaller bins that I've used, and this actually is my mealworm bin. And if you do mealworm farms, this is what they look like. They're all in there. You can see some of the beetles running around and some of the mealworms in there. Hopefully you can see that. And they're feeding on some stuff. And that's the mealworm castings that are underneath there. They're good for plants too. Let's see if I can pick some of these up. If you want me to do an update on how to do a mealworm farm, let me know and I'll update that. I just cut it out, put some black screen material on there so they can breathe, popped it on there. Once again, this is another $1 deal. I tried drilling this, but you can see this harder plastic stuff will crack. So I ended up having to just cut it out with some scissors and finish the job and just put some nice black mesh in there with some hot glue on the back of it. That's for my fish. My fish like eating mealworms. I have aquarium fish. Right now I have what's called red dragon flower horns. So if you're interested in them, I may do an update on them too. So back to this dollar tub combined with a lid. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put just 2 holes in there. So we're going to start out right in the middle. Doesn't have to be exact. Now you're going to want to put a little pressure on there, but not a lot. Alright, so I have 3.5-inch hole saw. And I pretty much went and laid it out where I want to put it. And you want to go slow with something like this because you don't want to crack it. Hopefully this is going to work out. Once it gets down there, rock it back and forth a little bit until it starts to cut through. Now you can use something like this on your tubs if you want to. I know a lot of people do the tubs. Eventually I'm going to go with a 5-gallon bucket. But this is just to give an update and see what they look like. So I may go ahead and edit this video so you don't have to sit here and watch me do the whole thing. And there we go, we've cut through. So that's one hole. Now be careful with this hole because now you've lost the strength of the lid because you punched a hole in it. So you're going to want to take your time. Okay, so now that we've got nice 2 clean holes there, make sure you clean all the plastic out of there. You don't want your worms trying to eat plastic. They're definitely not going to eat that. So that's our vent holes for them to breathe. You're not going to need holes around the side or anything. And if you want to, you can put some black mesh on there. I'll probably do that later on. I'll put some of this screen material behind there. But if I want to, it doesn't matter. For right now, they're in the basement. It's dark all the time. They'll be fine. If they want to, they'll bury into their compost pile and they'll get out from the light and that'll keep them digging in a little bit. But that's all you're going to need because these worms are not going to be able to crawl all the way across here and get out this hole. They just can't do that. They can't make that 90-degree turn and climb out there. So it's a simple way of making a worm tub. There we have the original can that I started with. We'll go ahead and we'll take the mesh off here. And you can see how they're turning that. Hopefully you can see how they're turning that pretty good. So we'll go ahead and we'll put that in there so we can get a better look at them all. Because people have been asking me how many we're up to now. There's the bottom of it. You can see they worked on those leaves pretty good. There's a few of them down in there. They're looking pretty chunky. And they're all out of there. The basement down here right now is running around 65 degrees. This is kind of moist. Not too bad, and you can see there are worms all through there. There are babies, bigger worms. And they worked on that stuff pretty good. See if you can see them in there. They're all through there. And that was all just cardboard and leaves. There are a lot of worms in there though. Them right there, nice and plump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some fresh cardboard on top of that just to dry that out a little bit. I've been putting a mixture of food that I make up. I blend up food for them, and that's why they're breaking it down faster. So we'll go ahead and we'll just put a nice layer of this shredded Amazon boxes from Christmas. Can't go wrong with it. And there you go. That's the update so far. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share this video. Links to the supplier I got my worms from will be at the bottom of the description of the video on YouTube. Take care.